Well done. Well done. Well done.
I just want to say, now that the Hallmark cards, all these people in their Hallmark cards are done, I'm going to get down to the real business and tell you more about these guys. Loving, I don't care. I want you to really know who they are. To be honest, this much best person in the world, but we all have flaws and they have many of them. So, to be honest with you, I am thankful for having a brother like Areg, because there are certain quality traits that I've instilled from my parents, but many have come from him, from having an older brother, which I, unfortunately, maybe looked up to too often. The thing that I loved about Areg, and what I can really say I've taken away from him, is a couple things. One is toughness. Now, you may be saying, well, what did he do? Was he an older brother? He bullied you? He did some of that, but he had creative ways of doing this. So, about 10 years ago or so, we were in the south of France, me, my cousin Rafi, and Areg. We were going every morning to go get baguette from the local deli, wherever it was. And I went for like 3 days in a row, and Rob's a witness to that. 3 days in a row, I went and kept getting it.
No.
Fourth day, I said, you know what, I'm not doing this. I was a scrawny little kid, I still am, but the point is, I said, no, I put foot down, I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. So Areg gets up and says, what you're doing? We went back and forth. So I'm thinking, I'm not doing it, I'm not putting my foot down here, I'm done with it. Areg got so upset, he didn't push me, he didn't punch me, the guy headbutted me. So initially get headbutted. My reaction is, what the hell was that? What do I do here at this point? I'm very confused, I'm like, what? And the best part is, I didn't go get the bread. I said, no, I'm still not doing it. So the headbutt was good, it taught me to be tough, build character, you don't back down. I didn't then, and I sure won't now. So that's one great thing. Second thing I got from Areg, competitiveness. Now, when I say competitiveness is good, it is, because it's got me where I am in life. I'm not a billionaire or anything, but I'm doing pretty darn good. The thing that I like about Areg the most is, growing up, we used to all play video games. We all did it, right? And we all had the older brother that was so competitive that would never let you win. You're all saying, yeah, I know where you're going with this. You don't. We used to play Nintendo all the time. And every 10 years, I would beat him once. The problem with beating him is he would go crazy. I couldn't smile, I couldn't clap, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I said So, this is to a point where I'm 14, and he's still doing this. I'm like, look, this just isn't fair, it's not working. The best part is our neighborhood childhood friend, I should say brother, he's my brother Philip, was at our house with Rob, and we were playing. And this was one of those Hallmark days where Phil was on fire and beat Areg 6 times in a row. The best part is that Phil won every game. He was going nuts, laughing. Phil looks at me and said, get excited, get happy. I'm like, I can't. He looked at me with that death stare. He's like, I'll kill you. I'm like, what is this? But after about 20 years later, I probably learned, competitiveness is good to a certain extent, and it probably shouldn't be on video games, maybe something more serious. The third thing that I would really say that maybe beats the first two is kind of the mental smarts. The one thing that is my biggest flaw, I only have one, and this is, I'm going to tell you what it is. Sometimes I get a little excited over emotional, I do that, and I think before I talk before I think, just like I just did now. So, what happens a lot of times with Areg is, he went to law school, and I get it, he's a lawyer, great, that's good. When you talk to this guy, it turns into like I'm in a courtroom. So before I have a discussion, then I walk up, I put my hand up, I say, I promise to tell the truth, so help me God. And then we get into a little conversation here. But then it's it'll be over little things. Which will be something he calls me, he's like, you didn't call me back. I'm like, yeah, I was at the gas station. He's like, no, hold on. At 6:42, I called you. If you come to the gas at 6:40, at 6:53, you should have taken the phone. Dude, I was tying my shoe. It's crazy. But I will say, the good thing that Areg, really, this will be a little sad for 2 seconds. The thing that I really do like is it has made me think a little bit more in terms of you have to map things out. You got to think of consequences in advance. I used to be way the other way. Now I'm not too far to the other side, but I need to get better. But I realize you need to think about things more often before you just say them and map them out. And kind of from point A to point Z, you've got to kind of take each step sequentially.
You didn't write this speech, though.
What's that?
You didn't write this speech. You didn't plan.
Oh yeah, this is not planned totally. Because I'm not one of those people that plans. All those, two things. One, all those people that bring notes. Let me tell you something. No knock against them if you did. Someone who gives a speech and has a brother like that doesn't need notes. If you love someone that much, just come and you talk. I'm going to need someone to give me a glass of champagne here because I'm going to have a toast and I'm not going to hold the mic up. So someone, let's go. Oh, there we go. When I talk, this is what happens. I like it. All right. Someone put this down. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and move on to Ella. So I've known Ella pretty much my entire life. Literally from Armenian school, we were in the butcher leagues running around, to all the way where we are now. The one thing, if not, there's many things. Many things I like about Ella, but probably the best one I've noticed over time that has been consistent, what I really like, is that she will call out Areg's crap. And it is so refreshing to see it. Look, people say, oh, you shouldn't fight all the time, and they don't, but they fight enough because they're in love, and that's what's great. How many times we were in LA, and they're in the car together, I'm in the back seat. I always get defaulted to that. It's fine, I enjoy it, but get something on there. So, how many times do I see these two bickering back and forth, and the thing I like about Ella is she'll call Areg out when he's wrong and let him know he's wrong. She doesn't back up.
When am I ever wrong?
Well, if you want to get into that, I'll be here for a while. Either way, what I really like about Ella is, A, she loves my brother, so obviously that's important. But the second thing is she's always been there for him, and I'll tell you, I'll be sensitive one more time here, and maybe another time after, because it's not scripted, so it's happening. The one thing I really like about these two is, honestly, I think about it, literally they've been dating longer than I've been alive. So I actually think Ella introduced me to Areg. I went up there like, who's that guy? She was, it's your brother. So, the thing I really like about these two is literally, you think about it, dating for 10 years. I couldn't legally drink until they started dating. I remember with the first time that Areg kind of made his move, where we were, I remember the whole story to a T. But then I started thinking the other day, I'm like, wow, from that point to where we are now, which is about 184 years later, I'm thinking that's pretty impressive. From going to being together that long, going through the good times, the bad times, dental school, law school, living in different states, all that stuff, to still be here today and standing right now and talking in front of these two is a pretty remarkable thing. Because to be honest with you, I just keep thinking to myself, this is the plug, I'm single, so if anyone... I'll give out my cell phone number later. But the thing I kind of admire a little bit is, you know what, at the end of the day, they always had each other. And to go through 10 years of that, and there was never a time where it was that kind of awkwardness of the block where one of them wasn't there for the other. They weren't always living in the same place, they were different states, whatever it was, it didn't matter, they were always there for each other. And honestly, you can't undervalue that. Now I'm done being sad, but what I will say in closing is, I love these two people to death. I think this is great. Honestly, I think I was maybe more excited to give this speech than they were to be here. I'm kidding, I was very excited to give this. At a certain point, after 50 years of dating, I'm like, all right, just get married, I want to give the damn speech. So it got to a point where I got nervous and waited so long that maybe I wouldn't feel as good, but seeing all the laughter and everything, I think I hit it pretty good. But before I finish, I would want to, my mom wanted me to do the speech in Armenian. I said, no, not doing that. But I will say one word in Armenian, I will do that. If everyone can raise their glasses, please. Yeah, don't get that excited. I want to, Genouts, as we say, that's, I want to say Genouts to Areg and Ella. May you live a long, happy, prosperous life. Please have kids soon. Mom's driving me crazy. I want the attention off me. Enjoy the rest of the life together. Thank you. I'll be in the corner over there.